The English Defence League claims up to 10,000 supporters are due to attend a rally against Islamic extremism in Luton this Saturday. A bold claim for a relatively new organisation set up by football fans. A large counter-demonstration by the Unite Against Fascism is also expected. The EDL was formed in March 2009 following a protest in Luton by a group of Muslims against soldiers returning home from Afghanistan. The EDL says it stands against radical Islam, against Sharia law and against what it calls the creeping Islamisation of our country. It describes itself as a human rights organisation, although its critics say it's a far-right racist group. And it's led by this man. Until now, he's gone by the name Tommy Robinson. Our reporter Gareth Furby has been given a rare insight into the way he and his group operate.
A Saturday night in Newcastle and hundreds of people are walking to a secret location.
We don't want 100 Muslims turning up, do we? Sorry? We don't want loads of Muslims turning up and attacking it.
We are the infidels!
This is the English Defence League.
The future of this country.
And the story of one fortnight spent following its leader.
I'm a short, fat geezer from Luton, that's who I am, man. I have not been groomed in public speaking. I have not been educated.
Until recently, he hid behind a mask.
We're doing it to stand up against Islamic extremists.
And used a false name, Tommy Robinson. But he's really Stephen Lennon, a 28-year-old father of two who runs a tanning shop in Luton town centre.
Born and bred in Luton. This is where they were. The soldiers have marched past. I'll never forget what I saw this day in this town. That was the spark that lit it. The abuse of our lads and our boys and girls coming back from a tour in Afghanistan. An embarrassment to us as Lutonians. So we made a vow that that can never, ever, ever happen again. Wow.
But Stephen Lennon also believes part of his town has seen too much change.
There's diversity, and then there's completely changing and Islamifying the whole area. And look, that is alien to this culture.
What do you mean?
I mean, just look at the burqas, it's alien. It's wrong, it's so wrong.
Have you ever been into a mosque?
Have I been into a mosque? No. This is a Muslim address to the EDL.
This is an address to the EDL.
He's telling us they're going to implement the Sharia in Luton.
They want to establish the Sharia here in Luton.
He's Luton born and bred. I used to knock around him when I was younger. He was converted in jail and he grew up the road from me. Going up to the Midlands, Walsall is. Every major town and city has now got divisions of the English Defence League. Hello mate, you alright? Sound too. To be honest, we're working class. No one will ever listen to the working class. We need Middle England. You've got big problems in every one of your communities with militant Islam. Thousands and thousands will be raised at our Luton demonstration for that. EDL Angels.
What's next? What can I do next?
We're not against Muslims. We're against extremist Muslims.
I don't like how they dress. I don't like how they speak. I don't like their law. I don't like the way that they are with me kids. I just don't like them.
A lot of people think you're racist. I mean, are you racist?
I'm not racist, no. I've got loads of Sikhs. Well, when we say, I'll say, what race is Islam? It's not a race. You can be any colour and be a Muslim, can't you? You can be any colour and be a Muslim extremist, as we're seeing. It's got nothing to do with race.
EDL!
We know our place. We are the bottom of the food chain.
I've got black friends. I've got Asian friends.
We're not racist in any way or form.
What's right-wing about defending our children's futures? What's right-wing about standing up for our culture?
But as well as their many political opponents, the English Defence League has enemies in Luton.
I just looked over my right shoulder and he was running straight at me with a shotgun raised. I was just adrenaline pumping and gone.
Been in the police station, they asked us to come down for a meeting. They then sat me down and said they need to issue me a warning. Information suggests that people within the Luton community
are agitated by the forthcoming English Defence League demonstration and intend harm to the EDL leader, and they have access to weapons.
Some people might say you brought this all on yourself.
How? By saying the truth. By opposing extremists, by opposing terrorism, by opposing Sharia law. You can't be bringing it on yourself.
And tonight, despite the possibility of further trouble, Saturday's EDL march is still on. Gareth Furby, BBC London News.
Well, let's get reaction to that report. With me now, Richard Howitt, Labour MP that covers Luton, and also Kadir Baksh, chair of the Luton Islamic Centre. Good evening to both of you. Kadir Baksh, do people in that report have a point? I mean, there is an extremist Muslim element that does exist.
An extremist Muslim element which is insignificant completely in comparison to the huge numbers of Muslims that reside in Luton. So there is no point in scaremongering and frightening the masses of non-Muslims over a handful of extremists who have no bearing on Islam and Muslims as a whole.
You say a handful, but EDL claim that they have from Muslim communities as well.
No, we're not hearing about any violence from the perspective of the Muslims, but we hear a lot of threats coming from the EDL and the likes of them.
And what about vice versa? Do you hear anything the other way around?
No, not from the Muslims. We don't hear no violence. Rather, what we hear is constraint. Muslims are being organised. They've got stewards to make sure that Muslims don't even tell the police. There's a lot of that that's happening in terms of of organisation on our side, on the Muslim side. Islam is a religion of peace, not a religion of violence and tyranny. So,
And what's